Hey everyone, it's Mimicutie, and today I'm going to be showing you some more icatch plays. It's been a while since I've recorded some icatch plays. I've done some off video, and I've admittedly forgotten to press the record button quite a few times. So some of the plays here are probably just going to be either my winning shot or just like a couple shots before winning. But yeah, I'll just show you what I've been playing recently, and there's quite a few prizes to go to. Not a lot of variety, but quite a few wins. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. I believe the first prize today is going to be the Miku clocks. So I think these are actually an older item, but they got put up again because I guess they had like extra stock. And honestly, the only reason I tried to play for these again is because I was able to get one in one shot. And unfortunately, I wasn't recording when that happened, and I'm so upset. So half of these plays are really me just trying to replicate the shot that I did. Yeah, lightning did not strike twice, but the clocks were still pretty easy. So I'm going to try and get this video up when these machines are still available, because I did a bad job at that last time. So if you wanted to play for these prizes, at least for the ones that have the full plays, you could still get an idea of exactly how to play through them. So, the way I one-shot it was, I went to the left and I lifted it, I think just behind the front bar, and it just kind of got stuck to the claw and just bounced in when it went backwards like that. But I wasn't able to get it to happen again, unfortunately, which was pretty sad. But as you can see, the prize is like still moving backwards, so instead of trying to get it to shimmy forward at this point, I figured it would be easier to just keep lifting it until it falls off the back bar. So I'm trying to at least center it over the prize here just because it's kind of crooked. And these machines are pressure sensitive, so if the claw hits like the top of the box, more often than not, it is just going to stop moving the prize altogether. So as you can see, in 3 tries, technically, we got it. But like I mentioned on my previous videos, icatch can be kind of finicky with what they consider a win and what's not a win. So I decided to put in one more play because if I could just lift it up, I'm gonna wait till it goes to the side view here. If I could lift it up, essentially, in between the little gap, it should, because the claw strength, lift it up enough so that it will just slide in. But here I went too far back, so it did not do what I wanted it to do. And something interesting happened here. So the claw, comes back to the front, and I was planning on doing that one more time just to get it lifted so it would slide in. And I think this is the play that it happened. I went to go play again, and it got put in waiting, and the prize got reset. So I was super concerned when this happened because, like I said, icatch, you never know when it wants to give you a win or not. But the prize did show up in my cart a couple minutes later, so I didn't have to send them an angry inquiry. So I decided to go ahead and play for one more because I really, really wanted that one shot to happen again. But once again, I just couldn't get it to happen, and I was kind of sad because it was really cool and I didn't get it, and I was like mad at myself for not recording it. But this time, it lifted the prize forward, and it got some pretty good distance going forward. So I was like, whatever, I'll just continue to shimmy it until it either falls off the back bar so I can lift it backwards, or it just bounces hard enough that it falls through the hole in the front. Moving a prize forward could be kind of scary sometimes because with some prizes on icatch, when I go back to the side view here, you can see there's not a lot of space in between the like the area where the prize can fall and the actual end of the machine. So here I'm just trying to get this back corner off so I can flip it backwards instead of having my goal being to move it forward, because it would probably just get stuck on the edge of the machine. I haven't personally had that happen to me yet in my icatch plays, so I've seen it happen a lot though, and I don't know how people that have that happen to them really deal with it. I'm not sure if they send like an inquiry. I don't know if they get the prize or it gets reset. So here I have a string of bad plays here. I didn't get the left claw wrapped around the prize enough, so it only lifted up one side of the prize. But because they haven't like wiped down the bars or anything at this point yet, it still moved down fairly easily. And I believe that's going to happen on my next turn too, where the left claw just doesn't get around the box enough because I didn't move far enough to the left, and it'll just bounce one more time. So as you can see, I lift up one side and it bounces. But that back corner now is off of the bar pretty much. So all I have to do at this point is not screw up, which is a hard thing for me to do apparently, like according to what I've done in the last video. But from here, once you get the prize in this position and the back corner is off, or just the back ledge is off the bar, all you have to do is flip it in. So I center it to the best of my ability and just give it a quick tap because you want to have the front end of the box give you enough room to flip it. And there we go, we got it. Not as seamless, well the last one really wasn't that seamless either. Not as easy as the other one, but they reset it quite quickly here. I was kind of surprised. But we still got it. So I decided to move on to the next prize. I was kind of confused here again because I didn't know whether or not I got it. So here I just jumped right into playing. Admittedly, if you see this clock in this position, I wouldn't recommend playing it because it did take a few tries to get it out of this position. But my goal was essentially to twist the box back forward so that it would be easy to lift forward and then flip it backward into the winning chute. So the claw does have a good amount of lift. It was just a matter of me aiming properly so I could twist the prize back forward. And this one I believe is a lot more pressure sensitive than the other one, which is why I didn't really try too hard to wrap around the prize with the right claw, because technically you want to get as close to the box with this right claw as possible so that it'll twist back into the other position. Twist back forward rather. But it kept falling, which was quite annoying because I was just like, if I could just get it to twist, I'll be able to just lift it in and everything is going to be fine. So I can't remember how played it's been. I can't remember if this is 2 or 3. I was still able to win it in the end, but it falling off that front, that I think it's the left claw that kept dropping. It wasn't the right. Let's see here. I went a little bit more forward this time instead of going towards the center. And as you can see, it's still moving. It's just not twisting the way I want it to. But I'm like, you know, it's only 150 ICP a play. It's not too bad. So I guess I'll just keep trying since it's kind of close at this point, honestly. So we're just gonna go to the right again. I stopped a little sooner that time, hoping that it wouldn't stab the box. So I just went back to around the same position, hoping it wouldn't drop this time. But this time, even though it did drop, it twisted a little bit back to the left, which is exactly what I wanted. So I figured, okay, now that it's moved a little bit back to the left, it should be much easier to pick it up and have it rotate again so that I can go ahead and flip it backwards into the prize chute. So we're going to move over one more time. I let go early there, but the claw seemed to keep going. But it wasn't too much of an issue since it didn't like hit the box or anything and stop me from playing, which would be a big issue. But I lifted it up, and it rotated back exactly where I wanted it to be. So now that that back edge, as you can see, is off the bar, same thing applies for this clock as it did for the other one. All you gotta do is flip it backwards. And that kind of goes for like anything that's on a Clinaflex or Cleanaflex. I'm not sure how you pronounce that first part. But general rule of thumb for boxes in these setups that have pretty strong claws, once you get it off the back bar, all you have to do is flip it backwards. And it's much easier to flip it backwards than it is forwards because, as you can see, the prize is pretty close to the edge of the actual machine. So you won't run the risk of getting it stuck. So there we go, we got it. And as you can see, my happy little mouse moves. So we got one of this Miku clock. I'm currently working on a Tapjoy offer that should give me like 22 bucks to play. So I'm hoping I can go back and get another one to sort of match the number that I have a little bit with the previous clock. So this is another one I jumped right into just to get a sense of how strong the claw is. There's a prize that I won later in this video that you'll see, which is kind of the reason I tried to get this one. I actually do need a mouse. Not everything I win goes up on my store. I've needed a mouse for quite some time, and I'm like, well, if I can get it cheap, I might as well try and win it. So I saw that the claw was pretty good. I tried for this before, but I didn't really know what I was doing. All I had to do was stay towards the front to get the lift that I wanted. So I didn't go far right enough there, but because I know I can slide the box down fairly easily, I decided to go ahead and keep going. So because it's a little bit rotated, I just want to get the right claw around it just enough so that I can, same thing kind of like what I did with the Miku clock, and at least try and center it again. But I went a little too far there, but if I'm not mistaken, I think this ended up working out. I can't remember. Yeah, there we go. So it is now on the bottom bar. So for this one, because there is so much room at the front, it would be easier to flip it forward than it would be to flip it backward. So we are just going to go ahead and put in that last play, since all we have to do at this point is flip it. And just decided to center it, because sometimes if you go too far back, it won't grab the box. And there we go, we won it! Pretty simple, didn't take too many tries. I'm not sure why I struggled so hard on it before. I think I put 2 tries in and was like, this isn't worth it. But the later item I will show you that I had originally gotten for myself, I'm no longer going to be keeping because of that. So here, I honestly don't know what advice to give. Outside of like ramps and like Nesso berries and some box setups that are on sort of like a slope type setup, I can do those, but when it comes to figures, I am honestly the worst at playing for figures. So I'm not even sure why I hopped into this machine to begin with. And as you can see, I'm closing tabs that I forgot to close up top. Yeah, I'm not the best with figures, but this particular figure had a pretty strong claw, so I figured if I messed with it enough, I could probably get it to fall in. And as you can see, I got a pretty good lift there. But again, with boxes, I honestly kind of just flail a ton until I get what I want. Well, not like with boxes, but with figure boxes specifically, which is why I typically don't go for figures. I wanted the Love Live set that's out right now, but I'm just so bad at boxes that I'm not even gonna bother trying for it. I'll probably end up just buying the figures, because it'd probably be cheaper for me to buy them all instead of actually playing them. Okay, so at this point, I honestly could have done the winning play here with that corner that's on the back bar and just swept it in with the right claw. But I was kind of hoping, I think as I was playing, to just twist it to the right enough that it would fall in, but I think here... Oh, maybe I did do the play here. Yeah, I did, okay. I probably could have done it a while ago because it had been in this position for the last few plays that I've had. But in the end, I did get it, and I remember like wanting to kick myself. Just like, I could have done that like a play or two ago and not have wasted like $1.20. But we did get her, So for this particular machine, if there's one corner that is on, because the claw was so strong, it kind of just pushed it right off. And then we got the lift and had it fall right in. It doesn't work for every single machine on icatch, just a note. So here is, I actually did win the ReZero mouse, because this was the one I was originally going to keep. And the only reason I went for the Fate one, despite not watching Fate, I mean, I don't watch ReZero either, I'm not gonna lie. I really need to. But the mouse is white. And my laptop, as you can see, I totally messed up there. My laptop is black, so I wanted a mouse that would match my laptop. They do have a REM one that is a black mouse, but the claw strength on that particular setup, I wouldn't recommend playing for it because it is much, much weaker than the claw strength that the one with both REM and ROM has. So all you have to do when it gets into this position is to basically just sort of center lift it without hitting the box, which you saw I did earlier. And because it lifted it backwards and sort of yeeted it forward, we got it. There were a few plays that I didn't record for that one where I picked up the box entirely and got it to move up the back bar, which was the only reason I kept playing. And then the right claw twisted it and made it fall into the position that you saw it start in. So if it ends up there, you know how to get it from there. And this was another one where I think this is only the final play for the Symphogear pillow. In the previous video, I could not figure out how to get this setup to work. They increased the claw strength a little bit to the point where you can actually play and win it now, and it is still like that. I can't remember if it's still up though, I'll have to check. icatch increased their machine number. But I essentially just needed to get that front corner off of the platform. And so if it ends up in this position, to do that, all you need to do is just go to the back of the pillow, and you kind of want to just wrap the right claw around it just so you can twist the prize, and it should fall right in. But generally speaking for this setup, I haven't seen many people go for the front. The way I've seen people do it was to basically shimmy it backwards instead of shimmy it forwards. And since that's what I know that works, that's what I did. So I did end up getting a few of these, and there we go. Pretty simple getting it off the back. They had reset it to be a lot further back than they usually do, which is the main reason why I went for it. So it didn't take too many tries. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember. Is that the last prize we have for this video? It might be. Oh no! So this might be the last one. I think all I had for this one was my winning shot. So there were these Konosuba pillows. These were another prize that these were kind of old, but they had a few, and the machine was pretty good. All we had to do here, the machine's been taken down, but all I had to do here was just basically lift it forward until it fell. Which is probably the easiest, most straightforward thing I've done in a while. So yeah, there's the win for that. I figured I'd include it since I had it. So in an upcoming unboxing, these prizes are now preparing delivery. You'll see those ship out. But yeah, that's about it for me today. I probably won't be playing again either till the end of this month when a Miku comes out. I haven't decided whether or not I'm getting her yet. But if I don't go for her, the main prizes that I will be going for actually come out in October, January, and maybe November? I'm not sure. I'll have to check the prize forecast for November and January, but October for sure. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you got some helpful tips, and I will see you in my next video.